John chapter 4. I've been telling y'all since Thursday night that I was going to bring a message tonight entitled What's Behind the Mask. And I originally thought the message would go a little different because I haven't brought my mask, right? You know, I brought my mask. And when I first seen this thing, I was sitting at McDonald's. And Hannah got one of these things and picked it up. I looked at this thing and I was like, man, I should take this to church and goof around with it, right? And I picked this thing up and I look at the smile. And as I look at the smile, the Lord spoke to me and He said, what's behind the mask? He said, what's behind the mask? And I'm like, what does that have to do? And the fact of the matter is because, and I touched a little bit on it Thursday night, but I didn't want to get too far into it. But you know what the problem is most of the time we come in here with a smile on our face.
Yeah.
Most of the time when things are going on, we're out in the world and we're in a mess. Guess what we do? We hide. We put a smile on our face, right? And so, something as silly as a little McDonald's, Ronald McDonald, cheesy looking grin, right? Something as cheesy as that, the Lord will speak to you through. And He said, what's behind the mask? What's behind the mask? And so I want to share with you just briefly here a story that will give you an example of a mask in John chapter 4. In John chapter 4, we read this story and it goes like this. When therefore the Lord knew how the Pharisee had heard that Jesus made and baptized more disciples than John, though Jesus himself baptized not but his disciples, he left Judea and departed again into Galilee. And he must needs go through Samaria. Then comes he to a city of Samaria which is called Sychar, near to the parcel of the ground that Jacob gave to his son Joseph. Now Jacob's well was there. Jesus, therefore, being wearied with his journey, sat thus on the well. It was about the 6th hour. Then comes a woman of Samaria to draw water. Jesus said unto her, give me to drink. For his disciples were gone away into the city to buy meat. Then said the woman of Samaria unto him, how is it that you, being a Jew, asketh drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans. Jesus answered and said unto her, if you knew the gift of God and who it is who says to you, give me to drink, you would have asked of him, and he would have given you living water. The woman said unto him, sir, you have nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. From where do you get the living waters? Are you greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well and drank thereof, himself and his children and his cattle? Jesus answered and said unto him, whosoever drinks of this water drinks of this water shall thirst again. But whosoever drinks of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. Yeah. But the waters that I shall give him shall be in the wells of water springing up into everlasting life. The woman said unto him, sir, give me this water that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw. I'm going to stop right there for just a minute before we get into the mask. Because what we see here is in the beginning of this chapter is where Jesus is departing and he's getting ready to go. And when he goes, he decides that he's going to go through Samaria. Now understand something here, that the Jews would normally avoid that area because it was not real safe for them to travel through there. They were not real welcome, and so it's not real safe. And so he decided, you know what, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go and I'm going to go through there. Then he comes up on a woman about noontime. If you go back and study tradition, tradition tells you women didn't go and draw water from the well in the middle of the day. Women didn't go and draw water from the well in the middle of the day. It wasn't custom. It was, that's just not what they've done. But this woman decided, I'm going to go and I'm going to get some water. And when she goes down to get some water, here comes Jesus, and he sits down at the well. It's no coincidence. He probably could have sat down anywhere, but he chose to sit down at the well. And so we see this lady when she begins to talk to him, and Jesus says, I want a drink, and she starts asking him questions. And so right now she's still, kind of oblivious to what's going on. And here's what Jesus speaks to her. He said, go call your husband and come hither. And the woman answered and said, I have no husband. See, right there she begins to hide behind the mask.
Yeah.
Instantly, as soon as he told her to go call her husband, she goes, it's okay, y'all can smile. This is kind of funny looking, isn't it? Instantly, she puts up the guard and she says, I don't have a husband.
Yeah.
I don't have a husband. And Jesus said, well, you said you don't have any husband, but what about the 5 that you had? And the one that you're living with now is not your husband.
What is it? What is it?
That's paraphrasing. You want me to read it to you word for word? But he says, Jesus said unto her, you have well said, I have no husband, for you have had, past tense, 5 husbands, and him whom you now have is not your husband, in that you said truly. In other words, he said, you're right, you don't have a husband. The guy you're living with ain't your husband. You've already had 5 previous husbands.
Yeah.
So she was hiding behind the mask and saying that she didn't have anything. What are you talking about? You keep saying hiding behind the mask, preacher. I want you to understand that he already knows what's behind the mask. We don't have to continue to hide it. My God, we come in the church house and we have a mask in front of us. We don't want anybody to see what's going on. We don't want anybody to know our circumstances. We try to hide our circumstances from Jesus. Can I tell you tonight that your mask ain't fooling nobody?
Amen. Amen.
Nobody. But here's what he says. The woman said unto him, Sir, I perceive that you're a prophet. Our fathers worshipped in this mountain, and you say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. Jesus said unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour comes when you shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. You worship, you know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. I want to stop for just a minute. See, he knows what's behind our mask.
He sure does.
He knows, in this case, this woman's mask was covering up the fact that she was at the well for all the wrong reasons, first of all. She was at the well trying to find happiness.
Yeah.
She was at the well trying to seek to fill the void that only Jesus could do.
Sir.
She was at the well trying to get another man. Let's just be honest about this thing. She'd already had 5 husbands, living with another guy. She wanted somebody else. And so she was at the well trying to put on a fake front, trying to put on a mask to where she could fill a void that she had yet to surrender to Jesus. And the fact of the matter is, there's a lot of people in the world, there's a lot of people in the church house that's putting on a mask. My God, somebody. They're putting on a mask covering up the depression. They're putting on a mask covering up the anxiety. They're putting on a mask covering up the darkness. There's places in their heart that they won't even go. The song says they're putting on a mask to cover up a void that can only be filled
Amen. Amen.
It can only be filled.
Yeah.
See, on the reverse side of that, we don't know what's behind everyone's mask. We don't know what's behind their mask. When they come in here and they have that smile on their face, we don't know what's behind the mask unless they tell us. If they tell us what's behind the mask, then we'll know. But otherwise, all we see is this fake smile. All we see is that everything's okay. See, if we would have been the one walking up to the well, we may have not known any better. But this lady was here putting on a mask, and it's the same thing. When somebody walks in the church house, it's up to us to begin to look through the spiritual eyes. Because everybody's got a void. Everybody's got a mask. And if the church would be the church and begin to show them the love of Jesus Christ, then we can slowly peel down the mask. And my God, if we can begin to peel down the mask and show them that the void is the one and only Jesus Christ, we can change their lives forever.
Come on, brother, preach it.
We can change their lives. Allow me to carry on.
Go ahead.
When Jesus spoke to her here, he said, checking my time now. He said to her, but the hour comes, and now is when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. God is a spirit, and they who worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Listen what the woman says. The woman said unto him, I know that the Messiah comes, which is called Christ. When he is come, he will tell all things. And Jesus said unto her, I speak unto you am he. The Lord revealed himself right there.
He sure did.
Do you know those that are in the church hiding behind the mask? Those that are in the church hiding behind the mask, the Lord can reveal himself to them.
Yeah.
The Lord can reveal himself.
Sure can.
Those that have that void in their life, those that keep that smile on their face when in all actuality they're broken. Those that keep that smile on their face because they don't know that the void that they have can only be filled by Jesus Christ.
Amen.
See, we can come in the church house and we can pretend everything's okay. We can pretend that we're on our way to heaven. But the fact of the matter is, here's what's happening. As soon as we walk out the door, this smile goes like this. And when this smile goes like this, guess what? Everybody can see through the crack now. They can see the life that we're living. They can see what's going on out there. The fact of the matter is, we have to get serious. We have to understand that it doesn't matter what takes place. We can't hide behind the mask with Jesus.
Right. Right.
We can't hide behind the mask with Jesus.
Right.
He can see plumb through it.
Yep.
He says, I am he. Verse 27, it says, and upon this came his disciples, and marveled that he talked with the woman. Can I just stop there for a minute?
Go ahead.
Can I just stop there? Because isn't that just like the church?
Yeah.
Isn't that just like the church to come up and gawk about you talking to somebody, witnessing to them?
Yeah.
My God. You know what the problem with the disciples is? That's the problem. What are you saying, preacher? The disciples wasn't no better than anybody else.
No.
My God, Peter denied him 3 times.
He sure did.
The disciples wasn't no better than anybody else. They still hid behind the mask. They still hid behind the mask. But the disciples, says the disciples marveled that he talked with the woman, yet no man said, what do you seek, or why do you talk with her? They was too smart to question him, wasn't they?
Yeah.
It says, verse 28, it says, the woman then left her water pot
Yeah.
and went her way into the city. I'm not going to read the rest of that yet. I'm almost there.
Well, keep going, brother. You're doing a good job.
It says she left her water pot. She left it sitting there. You say, preacher, what's that matter? She left it sitting there because this is why she went in the first place.
Yep.
She was hiding behind that water
Yep.
pot. That water pot was her mask. So somebody's mask is fixing to be revealed. That water pot was her mask, and she used the water pot to make an excuse to go. And when the Lord revealed, listen, I can see through your mask. I know why you're here.
Yeah.
She decided, well, I'm just going to leave this thing here. And because he done read my mail, I'm going to go back to the city.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it alone. That ain't all she done.
Nope. Nope.
When she left, she went back to talk to the men.
Yeah.
And here's what she said.
Come on.
She said, come
And see.
see a man.
Amen. Amen.
Come see a man.
Yeah.
Which told me all the things that I ever did.
Yep.
Is not this the Christ?
Yes.
See, here's what can happen.
Yeah.
When we quit hiding behind the mask,
Yeah.
when we allow God to tear right through our mask,
Yeah.
see, here's what happens. When we first get in this thing, we're trying to hide behind our mask. We're trying to hide behind our mask. Right? We're trying to hide behind it. Everything looks all right.
Yeah.
See, if I hide that mask behind that,
Yeah.
you can't even tell that it's ripped. But we're trying to hide behind it, but here's what happens. We begin to come to church and listen. We begin to realize what our mask is.
Yeah.
And our mask begins to fall apart.
Yeah.
And when our mask begins to fall apart, we know that we can't hide anymore. It'd be kind of hard for me to hide behind this mask now, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
We realize that we can't hide behind it, so we allow Jesus to fill the void in our life.
Yes, right.
And if we truly allow Jesus to begin to fill the void that's in our life, then we'll do as this lady done.
Yeah.
We'll go out and we'll say, hey, wait a minute. Come see a man.
Yeah.
Come see the Christ that's told me all that I have done. Come and see the one that filled the void for me.
Yes.
That took away the depression. That took away the anxiety. That took away the drugs and the alcohol. And the pornography and all the other sins out there that took away all of those sins. Come and see a man that ripped apart my mask and filled my void.
Amen.
Come see a man. Is not this the Christ?
Yes.
Is not this the Christ? And here's what happens. Then they went out of the city and came unto him.
Yeah.
They went out of the city and came unto him. When she went back and she began to witness, she went back and told him, she said, look, she said, this man ripped my mask.
Yeah.
This man tore my mask off.
Yeah.
He revealed everything that was behind the mask.
Yeah.
And when he revealed the mask, when he ripped the mask and revealed everything that was behind it, I knew right then. And I want you to come and have your mask revealed. Because guess what? This man knows everything.
Yes,
this is the Messiah.
Yes.
This is the Christ.
Yes.
This is the Jehovah Jireh, my Lord provider.
Yes.
This is the one that can make everything all right. And if we would allow our mask to be ripped, and we would truly surrender to the one Messiah, Jesus Christ, if we would truly surrender, then we would go out into the city and say, hey, come see a man who's told me everything I've ever done. Come and allow your mask to be revealed. If we would truly allow our mask to be revealed, then people would come and see what's going on. People would come and see. You know what part of the problem is our masks have yet to be revealed.
Yes.
Most of us been going to church for years, and we're still sitting behind the mask.
Yes. Come on, preacher.
We're still sitting in the church houses
Come on.
with a smile on our face, hiding behind a mask.
Yep.
You say, preacher, you said this morning we need to have a smile on our face. I did. But there's a difference between a genuine smile and the smile of a mask.
Come on.
There's a difference between trying to smile through the darkness and having a genuine smile.
Yeah.
There's a difference between having the void in our lives, going out and searching for anything to fill that void,
Yeah.
and allowing Jesus Christ to fill it.
Yeah.
The rest is up to us.
Sure is.
She decided when he revealed to her what her mask was, she decided right then and there that she was going to leave her mask sitting there.
Yeah.
And she went back out and told everybody about Jesus.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't want our mask revealed because we don't want to give it up.
True. True.
We don't want to let it go. In order for us to fill that void, we have to come out from behind the mask.
Yes.
So tonight I ask you, what's behind your mask?